We are approaching the end of the harvest season in Arkansas, and this has been a year that was especially difficult for our state's farmers.
As we reported earlier this year, nearly 1 million acres went unplanted this season, and experts say next year may not be any better. Channel 7's Autumn Foltz joins us in our content center with the story. Autumn.
Well, yeah, Chris and Beth, it all began this past spring when many fields were too flooded to begin planting. I spoke with one economist about how this year's prevented planting impacted producers and what could happen in 2026.
Rainfall in April left many Arkansas fields underwater, and for thousands of farmers, that meant there was no chance to plant at all.
Farmers weren't able to get out in the field and plant a crop. So it was really too wet. At the beginning of the year, we got about 3 months worth of rain in about 3 days back in early April. This year we saw about 1 million acres that weren't able to be planted just because it was just too wet in the beginning part of the year.
That's nearly 20% of the state's normal cropland. And while the weather was the main culprit, economics played a role too.
When you see returns of negative $200 an acre and you're planting 5,000 acres, and it's really hard to convince your lender that you're going to be able to pay them back at the end of the year when you're showing such a large negative return.
Soybeans are showing the strongest potential for profit next year. The hope for soybeans is driven by something called crush, a process that adds value to raw soybeans by turning them into feed and oil products.
When a soybean is crushed, there's meal that comes out that goes into feed for cattle and chickens and livestock. And then there's oil that comes out. So like your Wesson vegetable cooking oil, that's going to be soybean oil. Those crush facilities will effectively add value to the raw commodity itself.
But with negative farm income projections and competition from other land uses, Byram says farmers have some tough decisions ahead.
They are facing that right now, and they will face that going to 2026 and beyond. Just like, how long can I continue to eat away at any equity that I've built up before I do switch to an alternative use, or before I do exit, or before I do retire?
Byram says 2026 could bring only a marginal improvement for most producers, meaning many farmers may be planting less or not at all yet again next spring. On your side, I'm Autumn Foltz.
All right, Autumn, thanks so much. First District Congressman Root Crawford has introduced legislation to give Arkansas farmers short-term relief as they face another year of high costs and tight margins. But because of the government shutdown, the timetable for considering that measure is still uncertain.